Hello everybody, my name is Aud and welcome back to the Aud Narrations channel. Today we're reading a story about a guy whose wife has lost a lot of weight. How do I make sure she's okay? If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the latest upload. Right. So, my wife has always been pretty average size. 5'7", 130 pounds-ish. I don't know 100% because we just don't talk about it, but have mentioned it in the past. I do know when I buy her clothes and I ask, she always said she was a size 6, if that helps. She was also pretty strong, does massage therapy, and was really good at deep tissue. I mean, there are times when she's worked on me and it hurt, and I'm not a small guy. About 6 months ago, she started changing things, not really eating junk food, and she joined some classes at the YMCA, yoga and some cardio. Since then, the weight has really fallen off her. I don't know how much, because the few times I've asked her, she says, I don't know, because I just don't care to weigh myself. And so I just drop it. But if I had to guess, I think she has lost at least 20 to 25 pounds, if not more. She seems healthy in terms of energy and her skin is really cleared up, but I've noticed some other things. I was doing laundry, which I do a lot, and her jeans are now only a size 0 to 2. Doing massage, she has to do her own sheets, and the other day, I heard her really struggling to carry a bag of laundry up the stairs. Yeah, it's a big bag, but I've never have I noticed that, and we've been together for years. I asked if you're okay with that, and she just said she needs a strong man to help her out, and started flirting and getting intimate with me. Is she changing the subject? Which leads me to my next point. Without too much info, she looks completely different without clothes. She had some curves, etc. before, but now she's pretty much a figure like a ballerina. And she says she feels great, but I recently picked her up during the act, and it was literally like nothing. Another big thing I noticed was she worked on me again for a massage last week, and all of the deep tissue pressure she had before was gone, and I could tell she was really struggling. But if I bring it up, she gets defensive and tells me she feels better than ever, and I should be happy for her, which I am. I just worry and don't know what to do. The final straw here was our dog, who likes to walk underneath our legs all the time and nudge her head up. Done so since she was a puppy. It literally lifted my wife off the ground last night. My wife laughed about it like it was funny, but I was alarmed. Our dog is part Mastiff, we think, and about 85 to 90 pounds, but still, that has never happened before. I don't know how to approach her. Every time I have, she shuts it down. I know she still gets her period, and she does eat with me, just no junk food. She's never eaten big portions, and that hasn't changed, but the snacks afterwards are only me now. I can't blame someone for wanting to be healthy, but I just want to make sure she's okay. TLDR, wife lost weight? Am I overreacting? She says she feels great, but I've noticed she's lost quite a lot, and I'm concerned. How do I talk to her? Someone's left a comment saying, have you sat her down and told her that you're worried about her health and really want her to open up? And also, please go to a doctor for a checkup with big blood work. They continue saying, ask her about what her motivation is. If she has had a health scare to cut out the junk, perhaps she secretly wants you to eat healthier too. You can try and offer that you also go get a checkup and blood work done, which probably never hurts. And if she completely shuts you out, try mentioning that you're worried to her best friend. OP replied saying, good advice. She seems to use it to play on this damsel in distress thing too. Like, I'm now always lifting things for her, opening jars. I just don't know if she's covering up a loss of strength or playing around with me because of the way she plays it. Someone replies to this saying, the most worrying part is the loss of muscle, not necessarily the weight. Losing that much muscle that she can't do tasks she used to that fast is very worrying in my opinion. Someone else replied to that saying, I agree, and also I think this is what OP should focus on. Raising concerns about her not being able to do the things she used to do easily is less confronting than raising concerns that she's lost too much weight. I definitely agree with that. I think it's a much more delicate way of handling the situation. Someone else has left a comment saying, I think you should sit her down and talk to her about it, but not right after something happens, like the incidents you mentioned. Just at a good time to talk so no one will get defensive, if that makes sense. Let her know gently that you are a little concerned. Yeah, this is definitely a delicate situation. You are going to need to handle it with some nuance. She may be genuinely happy with her new weight. Maybe she was potentially unhappy but didn't vocalize it with her old weight. Maybe. The damsel in distress thing could be her covering up. Could also be her kind of just taking advantage of the current situation. If she is struggling with certain tasks, she might actually like that you are able to do these things for her. Some people like that. Someone else had left a comment saying, I'm not going to tell you not to worry, but your numbers are all guesses. She could have easily been at a higher end of a healthy weight, and now she is at the lower end or borderline underweight. A 500 calorie deficit in calories per day just by purging junk food and being more active would result in 1 pound weight loss per week. Yoga tends to build long and lean muscles, so her shape may seem less bulky. She could have easily lost 25 pounds in 6 months, but not necessarily lost muscle. Weight loss is also weird. If she loses weight from her face first, then people tend to think you lost much more weight than you did. When my friend lost weight and edged towards the lower end of a healthy weight, her ribs became more noticeable. Around that time was when she backed off from weight loss and moved to maintaining. It sounds like it's the time to have a heavy conversation with your wife. Tell her you're worried, find out how she's feeling and what her goals are, etc. She needs to talk to you and not disregard your concern. OP replied saying, I appreciate that, and you're right. I knew she was 130 before because she told me. The only thing I can go off now is how she looks and her clothing size change. Also, she doesn't feel much heavier than our dog, who is 90 pounds when I pick her up. She is heavier, but just barely. Yeah, OP, this is a really, really tricky situation. I definitely think you need to talk to her, but doing so in the right way would definitely be advised. Handling the situation gently by talking about, you're concerned about her loss of muscle and how she's struggling to do certain tasks is definitely a good way of kind of dancing around the topic without addressing it directly. And that also may stop her from becoming defensive immediately because of, you're not accusing her of anything or anything like that. You're just worried. But it sounds like you've got a good head on your shoulders. So, best of luck to you. So, what do you think OP should do? What would you do in OP's shoes? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Alrighty, we'll have to leave that there. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.